Hello there, everyone. My name is Brenda Williams, founder of Culture Shift Hers Unite, the Soul of Elite Her, the podcast, and the Brenda Williams Show. And I wanted to talk just a bit about the work that is norming and forming. So I would say that I am a womanist, mystic, multimedia convener, host, and cultural strategist. And I want to invite y'all into a sacred incubator. And really, it is that. The void is the incubator. It's listening. And if you've been following it all on my journey through Substack, I've been doing some teachings about the culture shifter codes on LinkedIn. I wanted to center why the seasonal plan is really less about productivity and more about body attunement and awareness. And from that place, make your plan for the season. So as we know, yes, through the Gregorian calendar, this is the new year. But truly, the new year doesn't start really until the spring equinox. Because there's nothing alive right now, at least in this hemisphere. There's nothing alive. The earth is still asleep. We've got snow on the ground. In fact, right now, outside of my window, it's a snowstorm. Right now. And who wants to be out there? Not I. So I just want to level set the truth of where we are and paying attention to nature and what is nature doing. So seasonal planning is naming that most of our seasonal planning or quarterly plannings and our KPIs are all rooted in either ego, scarcity, feeling behind or not enough, a lot of bravado, right, goes into that type of planning. Fear of missing opportunities, fear of missing money, just a fear of missing the moment. FOMO is what really guides us, and shiny object syndrome. And what we're going to do over the course of these 90 minutes, I want to say hey to a few people. Hey, Juanita. Hey, is that we're going to plan the 90 days so that we do not ignore our nervous systems, that we do not ignore our energy, that we do not ignore the spiritual season that we're in and the lessons that we are learning. Because if you don't get that lesson, hey girl, hey, if we don't get that lesson, you know what's going to happen. Rewind. We're going to repeat it again. We really want to look at our real capacities in each season. Because honestly, every season, your capacity, it will shift, it will change, because life will dictate where you are, where you can be, and what's available to you. And that's not saying that the capacity always diminishes. It just looks different. And that doesn't mean that you can't be, do, or have, whatever you're dreaming of, whatever you're ideating on. It doesn't mean that those things won't come to pass. It's just saying, listen to the wisdom, pay attention to nature. And so in our seasonal planning, what it actually is, and this is what I really love about seasonal planning, is that instead of forcing yourself to do anything, you're not forcing yourself into a version of you or a vision that doesn't allow you to actually live and breathe. Winter seasons are all about incubation. Spring is gentle emergence. Summer is visibility and fruit. And fall is all about harvest and letting go. But then there's that pocket season. There's an actual pocket of time where it's outside of time. And this is the winter arc. For many of us, if you're a highly sensitive, empathic person, then pay close attention to the winter arc. This will usually bring up what people call seasonal affect disorder. But what it is for you, especially for you, is reorientation. So you might feel a little more irritable. You might be more sensitive. You might find yourself just really weepy. Like, why am I crying all the time? This is allowing your body to shed what is no longer serving you. And it comes out emotionally and it comes out physically. Again, there is nothing wrong with that. But how are you going to operate in that season as if it's a summer or as if it's a spring? You're not. Well, you can. But then now you're swimming upstream and you're going against what nature is telling us, what the information is. And what most of us do is try to live in summer all year long. Now listen, I love a summer. I love a summer. I love summer. Summer's great. You know, we outside, right? And as a Taurus, right, spring energy, what I found was really interesting is I'm a Gemini rising. So that Gemini, summertime, want to be outside. I want to talk to everybody, play with my friends. But in the winter, nobody's outside. No, at least no one I know is outside. So this is why we burn out when we think that in a winter or another season, we're supposed to be outside. No. And so why this matters for your money, your calling, and your care. I'm going to tell you, as a person, as a woman who holds business, media platform, spiritual calling, caregiving of my father, I can't afford to plan in ways that ignore all of that. I remember having a conversation with someone. You need to go here. You need to go here. You need to go to this place. You need to. And listen, I could have taken a nap. Like seriously, because they kept naming all these places that I should go to. Go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. And of course, in our world, in the business world, we hear all the time, your network is your net worth. And I push back on that just a bit because nothing of my value is tied to this world. And neither is yours. Your value is not tied to anything on this earthly plane. So let's also level set that. And then who can come in bigger than the all that there is, bigger than God, bigger than spirit, bigger than source to tell you that your value is tied to another human being? And where do they do that at? Not here. So I say all that to say that seasonal planning is something that I don't just talk about. I actually practice. I practiced it even more intently last year, all through last year, because I felt like, I'm behind. I'm not behind. I'm where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing with the calling. We have to be really clear on what we're called to. And when we're clear on that, you're going to stop making money decisions from panic and start making them from peace and presence. When we're making our decisions from peace and presence, we're using discernment. And so how do I know when to push, pause, or just let something go without shame? And that's a big one. Sometimes, some seasons, what used to work just isn't always available. And that's okay. So here's your invitation, and this is a gentle one. This is no pressure. This is a sanctuary. There are a few of us that are gathering next week on January the 22nd. There is no hustle. There's no need to perform. But we're just going to listen together. And if you feel like you've been white knuckling it into your future, here's the way to plan that honors your body, your faith, your creativity. There is room at this table. So I would say you don't have to decide tonight, but we only have 5 spots left. The container is intentionally small, okay? Because I never want anyone to feel like they're lost or they're just throwing things, spaghetti on the wall, and they're not moving through the workbook and the full moon codex that will be joining, which will be a companion piece to the workbook. I want you to feel it in your body and know, how does your spirit respond to this? As you're sharing this, you can tag a friend, you can send this to someone and see how this feels for you. And so whatever season that you are in right now, whether it's a winter, a spring, an arc, a fall, you're not wrong. It's just speaking. And I hope that you know that you deserve to hear it. All right, so seasonal planning. I will see you all hopefully next week. If you know a business, female identified, highly sensitive, empathic, female business owner who And the other piece of this work is that we'll be naming where and what causes we will be supporting throughout. Either you can pick one for the quarter, or you can pick one to support throughout the entire year, and what that's going to look like, what your support is going to look like. And the reason why I name it that way, with a longer arc of support, is that also helps the organization build some capacity too. So if they have one person dedicated to them through their business for the entire year, they can go further faster, as opposed to just kind of a one-off donation. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't give, and I'm not saying don't do that. You have to look at your capacities. But if you do have a way, we'll be able to think creatively together. How can we support this organization throughout the year? How can we, amplify them, of course, bring in revenue for said organization? And the other piece of this is that when you participate in seasonal planning, you also get an intuitive reading done by myself. You also get sponsorship. Yes, you will be a segment sponsor for the Brenda Williams Show for the next season. And you'll also get a 1-year subscription to my Substack. Because instead of just creating a business model, which is transactional, service fee, no, service, compensation, impact, outreach, amplification. It's a little bit different than your traditional business models. So I say all that to say that I implore you to go ahead to my link in bio, share the information with a friend or four. And I would love to see you joining us inside the Sacred Circle next week to chart out your quarter with love, with intention, with spirit, through your natural gifts, talents, and abilities. All right, beautiful ones. I'll see you soon. All right, Juanita, it was so good seeing you. And hey, Rachel. So great to see you. If seasonal planning sounds like something like, I think I really want to do this, but I have a question or two, feel free to DM me, and we'll see what we can work through. A couple of high level things. Yes, it will be recorded. We will record it. But if you have any additional questions that you need answered, we'll answer them in your intuitive session. And as a gift, you'll also get a numerology report. So we'll look at your personal year and look at the universal year right now. We're in a year 1. So how does year 1 impact your personal year? Love to see. All right, good humans. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so very much. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.